Hello Stencil fans, today we are going to show you how to do a quick run through of how to do a tall porch sign. This is Hello Spring. I'm going to show you how to prepare your board so that you don't get knots bleeding under from your pine board. I'm going to show you how to do your whitewash pickled background, how to do the different colors, there's a little bit of layering, a little bit of technique to that, how to do this mottled look on the yellow, and how to do this kind of spongy textured look on your lettering. It's going to be quick and easy so you can get to painting. All right guys, the very first thing you want to do when you're doing tall porch signs, when you're painting on pine, is you're going to want to seal the knots. Regular sealer doesn't work, so you're going to want to use the thing that I've seen that works, and it works successfully for us, is the Bullseye shellac, and we'll have a link in the description. It'll be an affiliate link. They come sealed with all these pins when you order it from Amazon, and I like that because that would be a mess to receive in the mail without it being sealed down. Anyway, so, but look what happens. These were not sealed, and this is probably a 2-year-old sign. The knots don't bleed through right away. It takes it a little while, or depending, I'm assuming, on the freshness of your wood. But they definitely do come through, and sometimes you can have an unfortunate placement of the knots. You can have them in the middle of, a snowman's face or something like that, and they're just unappealing. So you definitely want to seal them. This board was done 1.5 years ago for a TV hosting studio thing that we did. And you can see, there's knots under here because you can't get a pine board without a knot. But there are no bleeds at all, and we did use the Bullseye. So this is the difference in the two. So if you're using a light color, don't really need to do it if you're doing a dark color, but you want to make sure that you get the knots sealed in, and that will take care of your problem. All right, so now we know we need to seal our knots. Let me show you how to do that. Now open our can, and you could, if your can is sealed all the way, you could shake it and do that. I'm going to use the back end of a paintbrush and just swishy swirl that up. I'm going to bring it up from the top or bottom. A really neat trick that you can do with paint bottles and mediums, as long as they're sealed, is you can store them one way, and when you put them back, store them the other way, and that'll keep the contents stirred so you don't have as much work to do when you open them up. So I'm going to use a paper towel, and I'm going to wipe this off. And then, because I don't want to get my brushes dirty with a product that needs a little bit of extra cleanup, it says it can be cleaned with ammonia. I don't happen to have ammonia here at work, so I'm going to use my fancy glove, which is a fold top baggie, my paper towel, and that's what I'm going to base with. So I'm just going to go in and base all the knots. We are going to do this Hello Spring project. I love how nature it is. I love how festive the colors are. It's just super, it's just gentle and springy and wonderful. So I'm excited to share the techniques. We're gonna do this in some basics, and we're gonna try to get you in and out of it really quick so you just have the highlights. So we're gonna go through the whole board and base all of the knots, and then we'll let them dry, and I'll come back and show you how to base. Okay, so we're going to apply just a wash of paint. The way that you do a wash of paint is you're going to get your foam brush. It's a poly foam brush. It has an excellent resistance to pushing down. We're going to get some water in our paint, and I'm going to go ahead and blot this because foam brushes do catch a lot of water. Mix a little bit of that paint in there. And then just with the tip of our brush, we're gonna go on, and I'm just gonna show you a corner of this so we can keep it all in the camera and keep it quick. We're gonna just do a gentle coating. You wanna let some of that background wood show through. And just use big movements. Notice that my arm is sideways, and if I was doing this, I would be hitting my rib cage and stuff like that. So by going sideways, you make it so that your movements can be big and long and faster and more efficient. All right, guys, so here is the whitewashed board. Here is the plain board, and you can see that this has got a lot of yellow in it. This whitewash just really takes away the yellow. You could do 2 coats if you wanted to. You could use less water, make it heavier. Wherever you want to be is where you should be. So just make sure it's even, and then if you have something uneven, you can sand to even out your tones. All right, when you're stenciling, you always want to secure the edges of your stencil, and you want to do it in 2 places. Otherwise, 1 tape does not secure. 2 tapes secure. Okay, so you'll see, can't budge that. Can't move this. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do the colors, and you'll notice that these orange colors are all the same in his beak, in his feet, and all of that. The brown is the brown in the birdhouse. The green are all the same, and these 3 colors are different than themselves. So what I'm going to do is show you the different colors and how they look and how you put them on, and then everything else is just repeat. So we are going to take a dome brush, a paper towel. Let's talk a minute about our colors. We have a nice coral color. We have a kind of a tealy blue-green color. We have a bright, rich yellow. This isn't gonna base coat very well, so we need to use it with something else. So we're gonna use these 2 colors together, this one first and this one over top. Your brown is just going to be a kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of a medium mousy brown. Your green is a little bit leaning to the to a blue green, a dark green, and then some kind of grassy sagey greens. Okay, so any acrylic will do. We're using acrylic. These are honey bottles, and we just load these for ease of use. Okay, and we'll put affiliate links down below. Okay, so for the yellows, we're gonna go into our pumpkin-y color, and then we're going to base. This is really close to this string right here, so we want a multi-masker right over the top so we don't make a mess. And we'll swirl. By offloading your paint onto the paper towel, you won't have a bunch of bleeding under, so you wanna make sure that you're doing that. By making the layers thin, you're going to have quick dry time, so you won't have to work as hard. Okay, so always load, offload, load, offload. So we're gonna go into our word, and I'm really not gonna do anything really strong, and I'm not gonna do it even. I wanna give it some highlights and lowlights and some of that stuff. Load and offload. Okay, so see how splotchy that is? That is perfect. Okay, now with my dirty brush wiped off, I'm gonna pick up that mustardy color, and I'll neutralize my brush, meaning that I'll wipe it out, all out, and then I'll go back into that color, and you'll see that this is much brighter than this is. And then, oops, that wasn't secured. We'll go into the layers. Now in here, I might go where I didn't do as much. The light areas are going to make the light areas are gonna make the yellow brighter, and then the coral or the pumpkin areas are gonna make the yellow darker. So it's gonna make a really cool effect. Like sunshine streaming through the thing. Okay, and I encourage peeking because, look at that, that's beautiful. It's just absolutely perfect. It does everything that I wanted it to do, so that is absolutely wonderful. Brush goes into the water, we get out a new brush. We're gonna go into our terracotta-y corally color. Wipe it off on the paper towel. Move our masker. I've got this up on another little table over here. So lots of fun noises. Okay, there's that color. So you'll do the same for the bird and all the other things. And really quick, I'll show you that these have an etched line. It has an etched line that you can barely see that lines up. Once you have your P painted, you'll line up the second piece of the stencil with that P, and then that'll place it perfectly. And the same thing happens here. We've got it not etched, but the G is actually cut out. So I can lay that over with my G, and that's how you lay out the pieces of your stencil. And then I also want to point out that stencils are reusable. So when you are, if you do things with vinyl and stuff like that, you have to do them over and over if you ever want to use them again. So this is really lovely. If you're going to make multiples, if you have family members that love their porch signs as well, really great gifts for people. You can use them over, you can share them with friends, that kind of thing. And if you want to know how to wash stencils, we have a video on that on our YouTube channel. And so make sure that you like and subscribe so that you can be notified when we have other cool techniques and stuff. Okay, we're gonna get out our green color next. Get out a new dome brush. Bad thing about dome brushes, you can't use them wet. So when you change colors, you generally speaking have to put it in the water and get out a new brush. So I think a good amount of dome brushes is somewhere around the 20 mark. That way you can change your colors and paint tomorrow as well. So you have to think about tomorrow. You want to be able to paint whenever you want. Okay, so we'll go into our teal. Hold our multi-masker down. My paper towel is fuzzing on me. It got in my brush. You got to use a good quality paper towel. And I've noticed these are Bounty, and I have noticed that these days they fuzz out. I don't know what a better brand would be. Maybe the Viva brand, but it's expensive. So since we use these so much, I put up with the pilling and the stuff like that. Okay, to get the brown onto our string, get out a new brush. I'm gonna sound like a broken record here. We lay our multi-masker there, brown onto our string or onto our brush. And then you just do, this is gonna take a couple of coats. Now, if I don't like how it's basing, and I'm gonna say, I think this is separated. It looks a little separated and a little bit flat on my palette. So let me shake it a little bit more and see if I get better coverage. Okay, so I don't know if you can get this rusty, but this is very flat and has some clear edging. And this is like, a farm fresh egg. It is like nice and mounded and all the things. So you can see that the shaking really did help. So we're gonna go into the brown, see if it bases a little bit better. Yeah, see the difference? This is before, this is after. So you've got to shake your paints. Okay, and so that is how you're going to apply your flag. See how pretty that is with these soft whitewash colors and then these nice bright fresh spring colors? Oh, I love it. Okay, now we're gonna go for a letter. We've done a cute little thing with the letter. So we are going to go with our dark color, green. And sagey fresh, oh, that looks not shaken. Oh, yeah. Keep going. If you fill your own paint bottles, don't fill them all the way full because they don't move around as much when you shake them. This one is very full. Okay, that's better. Now, with these colors, I'll be able to use them with the dirty brush because I'm going from green to green to green. Okay, I'm gonna go into our dark. And we'll get that base coated. I'm swirling. If you guys have questions, make sure you put them below. And if you have pictures, share them with us. Other people who are DIYers and crafters and all of that would love to see what you've done. Like sharing is so cool. All right, so we just get a coat of that on. I'm gonna wipe out my brush more. And notice when we're using our paintbrush, notice there's a distinct line right there. It does not, unless you're scooping the paint, it does not usually get all the way up to the ferrule. It usually stays on the tip, and that makes things easier to clean. Okay, so then we're gonna pick up the darker of the sage greens. I'm not gonna wipe off as much, and we're gonna go in here and we're going to just stipple. And it's gonna look real spongy and noisy. And that is how you'll get that spongy look. So when I'm pushing, okay, so I'm gonna paint on my hand here. When I am pushing, if I push really hard, I'll get a complete imprint. If I tap softly, I get barely anything. This is what I'm doing. I'm not doing this. Okay, so you wanna do soft, 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 and that will give you just little imprints of this stuff. Okay, and the base, the birdhouse is the brown and the grass are the greens, and I think that we have showed you the basic techniques of how you get this spring, Hello Spring tall porch sign done. And I hope you enjoyed the quick lesson, and join us for more. We have a lot of lessons you'll enjoy.